PS4 reviews, OldClassicGamer here, and as I'm making this video, quite a few E3 press conferences already are done. The ones that I care most for are Ubisoft and Sony and Nintendo. Nintendo still didn't have theirs. They're actually not even gonna have the real press conference, but they're like gonna have their own thing, like always. But yeah. Microsoft I didn't really care for much, but Dead Rising 4 got announced, and I do want to get into Dead Rising series, so yeah, I need to play the other ones, and Dead Rising 4 looks freaking sweet. Frank West is back, and the only thing I have to complain is that it's confirmed to be Windows 10 only, which means the Windows 7 users are not gonna be able to play it, which means it's not gonna be on Steam, which means it will be on Windows Store, and we all know Windows Store fucking sucks. So that's pretty unfortunate because I really hate Windows 10, and if I upgrade, that's gonna piss me off a lot. But so I hope someone makes a patch for it, like they did back in the day with Halo 2 when it didn't work on Windows XP but only Vista. Someone made a patch to make it playable on XP, and yeah, that was pretty cool. So maybe someone does with Dead Rising 4. Ubisoft a press conference. It was pretty mediocre. Like much better than the last year's one, but I think they could have done much better. Like, it's great that they celebrate the 30th anniversary, but I think they could have done it better. Like, aside from South Park Fractured Butthole and Watch Dogs 2, I'm not looking forward to any of their other announcements they made. And Assassin's Creed movie, maybe finally we're gonna get one of the rare good video game based movies, who knows. But yeah, games wise, I'm only looking forward to South Park and Watch Dogs 2. Rest, I didn't care. Now, of course, so far, Sony definitely won E3 already. That's what I can tell, because judging by what we know Nintendo will do, we already know that it's not gonna be that much. We're gonna see Zelda and perhaps maybe Pokemon or something like that, but we're not gonna see that many things. Nintendo NX will not be announced officially, which just kills the hype already. Considering even Microsoft announced Xbox Scorpio, so it would be good if Nintendo announced NX so they can sorta compete, if you know what I'm trying to say, but no, they didn't do it. But speaking of Sony, they fucking rocked on E3. Like, everything they showed, it was interesting. God of War reboot, it looks like, how to say, unique compared to the other ones. I liked what I saw. Like, my main complaint was it had way less gore than the other titles, but the gameplay also changes a lot because how Kratos is moving compared to the other. Like, in the other, you have much more freedom to control camera, move. It feels like when you jump and move, it feels like you're moving in a platform game. And in this one, it feels much more realistic how you move, jump, and do the attacks. Like, and the camera also is different. So definitely different style gameplay, but very interesting. There are many other games also that ever showed, and even Resident Evil 7 is taking a different direction, because from what we saw, it's a first-person game this time, which is, I believe, the first time we are ever seeing something like that in Resident Evil franchise. They also showed PlayStation VR, which looks interesting, but holy fucking shit, the price is insane. I seriously doubt that anyone would want to pay $400 for it. I mean, it seems like a cool concept, and I would like to try it, but at the same time, I don't want to waste $400 on it. I would rather purchase a PlayStation 4 for that money, and maybe if I can find it for cheaper, then purchase some game with the rest of the money or some equipment, depending how much I can find it cost, than purchasing a VR. Sorry, but just not worth the price, in my opinion. The Sony's E3 press conference also did something very surprising, and that is that after all the waiting for, like, when we count the main games since 2008, we've been waiting for any Crash Bandicoot announcement, and this year is also Crash's 20th anniversary. Sony delivered it to us. They announced that Crash Bandicoot will be getting the ground-up remasters of Crash 1, Crash 2 and Crash 3. It's probably gonna be the PlayStation 4 exclusive, although I hope they also make Vita versions, but if not, I can understand why not, and I'm not gonna complain about it. I just hope at least we get the original PlayStation 1 classics downloadable on Vita at least, because right now you can't download them for some reason. There is no download option when you go on the Vita store. You can't even transfer them from the PlayStation 3, but most games you can. It's pretty weird. But anyways, Crash is back. We finally saw in the presentation, the background when it was announced, and the orchestra was playing a Crash theme. It was just it felt really great, because something like that on E3 we needed for a long time. We just needed some confirmation, and it made me pretty happy. Like, and then when they did a shadow effect with Crash like walking, it's awesome. And the background on the presentation looked really detailed, and if that's the kind of graphics they're going for with remasters, then that is excellent, because it looks pretty nice. Now, aside from that, there are also some bad news that I have to share, because I guess with every bit of a good news, there also comes a bit of bad news. Sadly, the Skylanders rumors that Crash is gonna be in the game, they were sadly the truth. I mean, I was hoping it's not gonna be, but I was stating in the video, I'm not confirming it's not gonna be or it's gonna be. I just said possible reasons why it might not be true, but I never said it's 100% sure. And sadly, it turned out to be true. What can we do? Crash will be in a Skylanders Imaginators, and I can't really help the feeling of feeling very bad, because right now they're just gonna include it there, and these remakes, like, it seems to me that Activision and Sony are trying to now do, how to say, a cash grab on Crash, because both companies saw that Crash was really demanded. So, to be fair, I would prefer if they announced a Crash Bandicoot, a new game, not the remasters, nor him being playable in Skylanders. Fuck Skylanders. I'm not gonna buy that game, not even because the Crash is in it, because I just don't work that way. You can't just put some character in a game and expect me to buy the game just because of the character. No, that's not how it works. I buy game for what game it is, not what character it has in. Like, they could have put, I don't know, all the forgotten PlayStation characters in Skylanders, like, make them there, I don't know, and have them playable, and I wouldn't purchase the game because it's the game, I don't like it. So you can include any character in it, and I'm not gonna purchase it. But that aside, I can't help a feeling that they're just trying to now grab as much as cash as possible with Crash. So they're targeting the classic fans for nostalgia by remastering the best Crash games out there, and for the newcomers that have no idea who Crash is, they're planning to put him in Skylanders so that they get introduced to the Crash just how they did for Spyro. Now, at least, unlike for Spyro, there is a hope that Crash will not be stuck in the Skylanders, and that he's... Some people compare this Crash in Skylanders as Bowser and Donkey Kong were in the previous Skylanders, like a guest character, it's not like a permanent character to be in. So Crash will maybe be just in this one game, and then now not again, because yeah. One thing that's weird is Nintendo Life actually confirmed that Crash will be playable in the Wii U version of Skylanders as well, which is pretty weird. And if they're already making Crash appear on Wii U, why the fuck didn't you choose Super Smash Bros. 4, but instead Skylanders, if you're already planning to have the character on the Wii U, if Nintendo approves Crash to be in on the console? Like, holy fuck, what a missed opportunity for Smash Brothers. I can already imagine all the attacks. Like, the design of Crash, as much as I hate Skylanders, the design actually looks pretty dang good. So it's very unfortunate that such design has to suffer while being in a game like Skylanders. So some people pointed out that maybe because they announced now the remasters and not a new game, that this will be the end of Crash. And like, what they mean by end, like they're just gonna have this and then they'll end the series for good. While I can see sort of that point of thinking, I have to disagree, because many people say because the reboot was not announced now, but the remasters, now it's too late for a reboot. I understand what they're trying to say, but I have to disagree, because let's take Ratchet and Clank as an example. We had the remasters of Trilogy, but we still had, after the remasters, we had Ratchet and Clank reboot for the PlayStation 4 announced. So I definitely think it is possible that if this sells good, that we're gonna see new Crash. And there are already rumors that Japan's studio is actually right now developing a Crash game unrelated to, because Vicarious Visions are developing the remastered versions alongside with Skylanders. So they're of course not able to work on all the games. So many people say that Japan studio, there are rumors that they're developing a new Crash right now unrelated to remasters. If that's true, then that's gonna be pretty great, because we haven't had a Crash game in quite a while, and I mean, just if you get the formula right, it's gonna be a good game. If not, then I don't know what to say. Well, it's probably gonna be good if it's made by Japan studios. Like they made amazing games, so I'm not concerned knowing that they're gonna be the possible developer. There's no way they can screw this up. So overall, I feel mixed about this press conference. The Crash part, at least. The other was great. What they announced. But if they just announced the remasters, it would be, in my opinion, way better. But of course, Activision thinking about money. And of course Sony on the part too, because both Activision and Sony know that Skylanders, sadly for us, sadly it's selling well, but for them it's good that it's selling well. So they see it as opportunity to earn more money. Sad, but truth. In the end, the companies care most about money. No, they don't. They do try to please the fans occasionally, and that is right, but. most of the times it's all just about money. Like no, that's like the main thing they're focusing on, the money. So overall, this Crash news are mixed. I'm happy about remasters. I'm not happy about Skylanders rumors that it turned out to be true. I'm not gonna buy Skylanders game even if it has Crash, even if it's playable on the Wii U. So I don't need to have to buy a new console to play that. I'm not gonna buy it because it's just fucking not worth my money. They can just put all the characters. They're gonna try. It's a fan service. They're trying to appeal to the fans to make them buy the game. But no, I don't work like that. You need to have a good game in order for me to purchase it. I'm not gonna throw my money at something like Skylanders. No fucking thanks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have Crash remasters. That's awesome. So I can't wait to see some actual gameplay of it because if we remember on the first time Ratchet and Clank reboot was announced, they also didn't show gameplays. So Sony likes to hype things. They like to drag a little bit before showing the actual gameplay. So we're probably gonna see it later this year, maybe at Gamescom. Maybe that's when we're gonna see. I don't know when the Gamescom is. Maybe is it usually at August or something like that? I'm not sure, but yeah, it could be. So I'm looking forward to see more about Crash remasters, and that's it. So yeah, see you guys later. Ciao, Matane.